Greetings. It's September 3rd, actually September 2nd, and I'm walking the Thimble Lake Trail, accessed by the Sawmill Creek Road. And I'm going to walk up to Thimbleberry, and I'm going to videotape this in 360 degrees using a instant 360 camera. Part of the way up the trail, I ran into a piece of the old trail. Look at this. Part of the old walkway, I remember. I walked this trail the first time about 1988, 89. But that's what the trail used to look like going up the hill. Pretty easy now. Take a look at this. Nice gravel, level walk. Well, it is going uphill a little bit. We're going to climb a short distance here and through the woods. It's mostly hemlock, second growth timber, and then the trail cuts up towards the lake. Here's some of the remnants of the old trees that were cut back in here years ago. It's kind of fun to look at the shapes of the old logs. Heck, this place could have been cut twice. I don't know how old that stump is. And of course we've got some mushrooms here. It's been dry, and the trouble is mushrooms come up and the bugs attack it really fast. That one's had its past day. I wouldn't want to eat it. Anyway, we start to walk through red huckleberry brush and hemlock trees. Most of it's second growth timber. And eventually we come to the stream, which is the outlet to Thimbleberry Lake. And we have a bridge here to cross over the stream. We've had no rain in 3 weeks, and boy is it dry, especially for Sitka, Alaska. So there's not a whole lot of water coming out of the lake or going into the lake. Nice bridge. A lot of people walking this trail now. Here's a repair section. They've had to do some repairs on the trail because of the number of people. But yeah, normally there's a big torrent of water coming out of here. I love taking this 360 camera and sticking it down below me into creeks and into logs and so forth. It's kind of fun. See what you get. Well, that's what I got. A view of the outlet stream here at Thimbleberry Lake. Boy, I hope we get some rain pretty quick. It's a nice morning, about 10, 11 o'clock. I can't get out much anymore, and I'm good for about 3 hours a day. So from 10 to 1, I'm out wandering around if I can. Now look at that hemlock tree. I don't know if it's a parasite or what it is, but something attacks these hemlock trees. Get those funny branches. Hey, here's a mushroom here. It's still edible. Whether it's poisonous, I don't know. Here's another example of these twisted hemlock branches. They get real weird and spooky looking. Looks like a good place for a horror movie, huh? Eventually we break out on top here above the creek that leaves the lake, and this is mostly small hemlock and small trees and brush. Used to be a lot of huckleberries in here to pick, but it's growing up so much with these small trees and it's blocking out the huckleberries now. It's not a very good berry area like it used to be. I got this 360 camera above me on a stick. Yeah, it makes it look like you're being followed by a drone. But this is the typical trail here just before we get down to the lake. Like I said, it's mostly a few alder trees, mostly little hemlocks, huckleberry brush. There's a few deer hearts or deer cabbage. Then we break out towards the lake, and if you look behind me, those are the power lines that come from the Blue Lake and Green Lake power projects and go into Sitka, Alaska. So a ways, the trail is on the old power line. You can see the lines above me as we enter the lake. Wow, the lake is really low. It's down about a foot. Should be a little bit more water than that. But it is a very scenic lake. Kind of a pretty place to hike too. And it's short. It's only like a quarter mile. Well, here's the dock. Usually the water's up underneath the dock. This is drought conditions here in Sitka. Still looks good though. There's a lot of grasses and stuff growing at the outlet of the lake. A lot of dragonflies. There's a bench there on the left where groups of people can sit. There used to be a kid that had a boat up here, little wooden pram. And the kids used to fish this lake for brook trout. I don't know, I think the lake's a little low now to get to. The fishing's a little better over at Heart Lake than it is at Thimble. But this is the outlet of the lake and the views. You see snow-capped mountains at the back end of the lake. Here's the grass that grows at the outlet. Like I said, there were a lot of dragonflies. But here's the trail sign. Goes to Heart Lake. I can't make it to Heart Lake. It's too far from this direction. But I did a Heart Lake trail from the Blue Lake side, which is not very far. Steep, but it's not very far. So I went and made a video of that. So if you're interested in seeing Heart Lake, watch the other video. Oh, here's the listening point, or the quiet place. You can see that someone's cut out the salmonberry brush. There's a little bench out here, and it's just a nice little place to sit down and bring something to drink. Most years, I'm come up here in the spring or late fall and bring a thermos of coffee. It's quite nice, quite pleasant. There is a family of bald eagles that live here, but I noticed they were clear over at the other end of the lake, and they weren't flying, they just kind of sitting over there. Someone built these steps here. It's kind of neat. You get down here to the lake and walk along the shoreline if you wanted to and try to fish. The water's deeper over on the other side. This is pretty shallow, especially today when there's no water. Let's go out here and have a look. But it's a very pleasant early fall day, let's call it. Still warm, a little breezy. Great views of the mountains around. I'm going to walk out here a little bit on the on some of the logs here people have placed. I want to take a look at the mountains over here on the left. You've got Mount Verstovia and Arrowhead, and the mountains at the head of Billy Basin drop down into the Indian River. Like I said, it's kind of pleasant here. I don't see any ducks or anything on the lake right now. Oh, this is bunchberry dogwood berries. Nice bright red. Oh, we have an aster flower and a white butterfly. Most people would say, well, that's a cabbage butterfly, but it's not. It's a forest butterfly. Ooh, look. Yeah, the only sign of bear I saw was some tracks, old tracks that went through this mud. But I was saying that the butterfly is a forest butterfly. Cabbage has black spots, and a forest butterfly has stripes. Anyway, yeah, no water under the bridge. This is the inlet stream, and it was pretty much dried up. Nice views up here towards the end of the lake. I didn't go too far. Nice sit and watch the wind. And splits off the tree, goes on out, and comes back into the tree here. So it went across here, and the tree grew up around it and formed this handle-like thing. Here's some plants. Didn't know what they were, or if I did, I forgot. Well, I also sat down for a while and brought out the telephoto lens and looked around to see if I could find any mountain goat. But I didn't see any. But I always got to look. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be out in that hot sun either. They're probably on the back side and the shady side. Yep, that's the only bear tracks that I saw, or bear sign. Pretty nice up here with the water, though. Not a lot of it, but it sure sounded and tasted good. I hope we get some rain pretty quick. Well, is the walk worth it? Yes, it's worth it. I hope you enjoyed this 360 view of Thimble Lake. I have other similar videos and, well, a lot of videos over on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Exploring Sitka, Alaska. Till later. Bye.